Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome to Posy Lane. If you're just now finding my channel, at Posy Lane we like to do fun, easy, and doable crafts. Today we're going to be working with Peeps and coming up with several different ideas, and some of them are going to be edible and some of them aren't. If you've gone to any stores recently, like Peeps are everywhere during the Easter season. They have all kinds of flavors, all kinds of colors. They have bunnies, they have chicks, and they even have merchandise now with Peeps. Like I've seen like giant stuffed animals with them that are almost bigger than me. So I knew during this Easter season I had to do something with Peeps. I'm so excited. I think we're gonna have so much fun doing this. Let's get started. For our first craft, I knew I had to use the classic yellow chick Peeps at least once. A lot of the other things have the bunnies, but I had to use these because these are a classic. And we're going to be making chicks in a nest, and the whole thing is going to be edible. We need something to build them in. And so I found these really fun spring colored cupcake liners that I'm going to use as like the base for everything. And then to act like the glue to keep everything stuck together, I'm using Nutella. This is actually a Walmart brand because they were sold out of Nutella at my Walmart. And then you need some little candy eggs to go next to the chick, and I'm using robin eggs because those are my family's favorite, but I've seen all kinds of different brands of eggs. M&M's now making an egg-shaped thing, and then I think Cadbury has some small little eggs too, so whatever you can find. And then for like the natural element, I'm going to be using some pretzel sticks. And then the last thing that we obviously need is a little chick. And so I'm just using these yellow chick Peeps, and that's all we need to get started. I'm starting with the Nutella, and I'm planning to just put it down in here. Got a big spoon. I'm just gonna get a generous amount. So I got kind of like a dollop. And then my plan is just to stick pretzel sticks in it and kind of put them all in different directions because a nest would be all around. After I started doing this, I realized like a nest is not going to be so uniform and everything the same size. So I'm breaking some of these in half and putting them down in here. Some are longer, some are shorter, so it looks more natural. The other day, my son and I went to Tractor Supply and they already had their chicks out. I was there to get like hay for my chinchilla. We always have to stop and look at all the chicks. And I noticed they had the Easter eggers. And if you've ever seen the Easter eggers, they're so cool because their eggs are kind of like different colors like Easter eggs. So my husband just asked me what an Easter egger is. So an Easter egger is a type of like chick or chicken that lays eggs that are colored. So they were all baby chicks, and they lay eggs that are not like really bright, but they'll have like a pale, I remember there being a pale blue. One of my friends used to have them when I was a teenager. And so they actually lay colored eggs. I started with breaking up some this time so that they all look different. I don't like when anything's too uniform. I'm actually really excited about eating these because I love Nutella. I love anything that has hazelnut and chocolate together. My favorite thing with hazelnut and chocolate are these candy bars that the first time I tried them, I was actually in Germany. They're by Ritter's Sport. They have like a ton of chocolate, and it's my favorite candy bar. So I've got all of these where I feel like the nest is really good, and I'm ready to put in the Peeps, and then I'll do the eggs. I think what I'm going to do is just use a little bit of this Nutella I have as like a glue on the bottom of the Peep, just a dab. These little chicks are so cute and sweet in here, and you wouldn't even have to do the other part, but I definitely want to add some eggs. Again, I'm just using a little bit of this as like some glue so it'll stick. And my theory is I can never have too much Nutella either. And I'm just gonna try to put a couple different colored ones in here. Yeah, I'm gonna do blue, yellow, and pink so that it adds a little bit of interest. And look how cute it's coming out. Oh my gosh, this is so adorable. These would be so cute. And because they're in a container like this, they'd be so easy to like bring to a party or something even. For my next idea, we're going to be using hot chocolate, and we're going to put a really cute little bunny peep into a hot chocolate. And you could just stick the bunny peep down in there. If you think about it, like with marshmallows, you just do marshmallows and hot chocolate. But I want to take it to the next level by adding some whipped cream and sprinkles. And I'm just going to take this really cute little guy and stick him right on top of that. And how fun and elevated is this hot chocolate? What we're going to do next is make an Easter Bunny candy stick. And I thought these would be really fun for an Easter basket, like as a stuffer. And so we're going to use these little guys at the top and add other candies to a skewer and wrap it all up to stuff in an Easter basket. Got a bunch of different fun peep colors I'm going to use for the tops. Found these like sour streamers, or kind of like little belts, and some starfish gummies at the Dollar Tree that I think will look really cute below the peeps on the skewer. Then obviously, if we're going to be putting these on a stick, we need some skewers to act as our stick. I got these clear treat bags at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna put each of the skewers into the bag to kind of seal it up to help keep the candy fresh. I decided to use these longer skewers because this is about the length of these little favor bags. And I can even trim this bag if I need to. I'm gonna use this tip to kind of spear them. I'm gonna start with these sour belts and just kind of have them, you can see, putting them in like an S shape, kind of a squiggly, just to make them have a little bit more interest. And also, how else are you gonna put something this long onto the skewer? I thought it would be fun to kind of like stick them in between. Oh goodness, they're a little hard to do. Just so that there's some variety on the stick, so that it's not just all sour belts and has a little bit more texture to it. So I made sure to leave just enough room for the bunny, and that's gonna go right on top. And I'm thinking for this one of maybe doing the blue. This bunny slid on so easily, and I love how bright and cheerful this is. This would look so fun in an Easter basket. Now that I have all of them on, I'm just gonna slide it into this baggie, and I'll seal it with one of these ties. Here they all are now, ready to go, and I can't wait to put these in my kids' Easter baskets. Next, we're gonna be building an edible arrangement with Bunny Peeps. We're gonna need the Bunny Peeps, and then obviously this mason jar. And then we're gonna fill the bottom with jelly beans, and then also some Easter grass. And then the last thing we're gonna need is some skewers, because we're gonna make an arrangement out of this, and we're gonna put the Peeps on skewers. I took the lid off, we don't even need it. I think a Peep is about this tall, so I only need to add something to about here. And I'm gonna be adding jelly beans, and Starburst jelly beans are my absolute favorite, so I'm gonna add them to about there. But you could really use any candy that you like that's kind of small. I haven't used these pink ones yet, and so I decided I'm going to use them for the inside of the jar. And the plan is to kind of have them lining all the way around so that you see them looking out from the mason jar. Like I said, I measured it, so I think it's about that tall for them, and I'm just going to put them all the way around. Looks like exactly 4 of them will fit in here. And now I need to fill in the middle, and I thought about doing Easter grass, but now looking at how small this space is, I'm thinking of doing the jelly beans in the middle. So these jelly beans have several purposes. They're gonna taste delicious. They're keeping these on the sides, and then also they'll help keep the skewers supported so they aren't falling everywhere. I made 5 of these little skewers. Things always look better when you do an odd number for some reason instead of an even number. I only had 4 colors, so I did 2 blue. These actually go really easy into the jelly beans. And my plan is just to put them in different directions. If this was in the center of a table, I might want some facing one way and others facing the other way. This is coming out so cute. I couldn't wait to like set this out at an Easter party. I think this is the first non-edible thing that I've made today. We're actually going to be using these Peeps as a stamp. So this is not edible. And I got these canvases at the Dollar Tree and just painted them all white to kind of prep them. And I have 2, and then I have these Peeps that I'm gonna use like stamps by getting paint on the back. And then I got this really pretty pastel paint in yellow and blue and pink. To put all the paint on, I have a paper plate so that I can stamp really easily. And just in case I need to like touch it up at all, I have a little foam brush. This one, I did not dab the paint. I just put it straight on, and I feel like I have too much paint on them. On the second one, what I did was I would get the paint on it and then dab it onto a paper plate. And I feel like that looks a lot better and doesn't have as much paint on it. But I think this is so cute, and this one's adorable too. We're going to be building a Peep Shed out of graham crackers. And so to build this, you're going to need icing and also some icing to do details that's maybe in a bag. And then we're going to be using little Bunny Peeps for the sheds, like it's their little shed. And then I bought a bunch of different pastel candies that I could find, including Dinner Mints and Smarties. And then the last little detail I have is some coconut that I dyed green, but you could also probably find green sprinkles and make that kind of look like grass too. We're making a Peep Shed. We're going to be using graham crackers, and it's basically like an Easter version of a gingerbread house. So when you say Peep Shed, think Easter version of a gingerbread house. I started to use just normal graham crackers and icing, and the whole thing just fell apart. And I realized this is actually like almost the exact width of a graham cracker. And I could use this to make a structure that will be more secure, will actually stay up, and will be less frustrating to build. So for the graham cracker, you're just gonna wanna set it down. This graham cracker is just for tracing. Don't actually use this one because we're gonna be using a Sharpie to trace. And just pick a corner and trace your graham cracker on the long end and on the short end. Then once you've done that, kind of mark where the middle is. Then you flip it to the side and mark it again on this side, and flip it again and mark and trace it just on these sides too, and then halfway right here, and then go to the bottom part and trace this as well. And I'm going to take this cracker and break it in half so I can mark where the half point is a little bit better, and this will help us when we're building it. You can see where we've traced the whole graham cracker, and the halfway point is actually a fold. It's not going to be a cut. Where we're going to make like a roof out of it, and this part right here is going to be where the roof meets, so we don't need that actual part of the box. Now that we've cut the whole top off of the box, you can see where I've drawn this line all the way around, and I'm going to cut all of that off. Roof can meet, and these lines are just folds for the roof, and we're just going to cut this part off so we can actually fold those parts for the roof. Now that I've got all this cut off, you can kind of see the shape that's forming. It's gonna have 3 sides to it, and then this is gonna be the roof that meets. I'm just gonna grab a small piece of painter's tape, go across the edge here, and I'm gonna make some folds on either side. And now these can meet. So now you can see this is just a little bit bigger than a graham cracker all the way around. So this is gonna be perfect for adding all of these, and then we can do some piping or something to kind of cover up any of the box. So I'm breaking a bunch of these in half so that I have them ready for the box. What I'll do is just get some frosting on the back, like a dollop of it, and I'll place it where it needs to go, and I'll kind of wiggle it around and use the icing as a glue. Like I said before, you can just put a dollop in the middle, and then the motion that we're doing where I kind of wiggle around spreads it out on here, but then it makes sure it doesn't seep through to show, and makes it look more neat. Now that I've got all of them on the outside, I'm placing one here and one on the back wall. You do need to place the one on the bottom first, just because from the perspective of someone, you can see inside that way. You don't really see the sides, but you can see the bottom and the back. I thought these were squares, and when I broke them in half and started building this, I realized they're rectangles. This way is a little bit longer than this way, so you need it where the seam is going up for it to actually fit on the structure. I let the icing dry for a little while. I keep calling it frosting and icing. I really don't know the difference. If you know the difference, let me know in the comments. But I let it dry all the way so that it's going to be really good and firm before I add candy to it. And now I'm just gonna get a dollop of icing, or more of a generous dollop. Use it to kind of glue it to the plate so that if I move this around, it will stay. I found this at Walmart and it already comes with like the round tip on it. So I want to do some piping to hide where the box is. And so this will be perfect just to kind of cover that up. And then I don't have like a piping kit, so this works perfect for me. I'm going to start with the roof, and I'm just going to line it with these Smarties. I think that will look really pretty and colorful, and so I'm just going to use this icing again to attach it to the roof. I know we used a box to make this structure, but how many people out there used a milk carton to make a gingerbread house when they were little? Like, I know from kindergarten, I remember saving our milk cartons, and we made these really fun, edible gingerbread houses. And I even did it once for a birthday party because my birthday is the day after Christmas. We made them with milk cartons, but I can't really find milk cartons anymore, so that's why I came up with this idea. I've got the whole roof done. It seems like 4 across, 5 down fit perfectly. And now I'm going to use the bigger Smarties. And I didn't even know that they made bigger Smarties, but when I saw these, I knew I had to get them so that these kind of matched. And my thought is to kind of make them like little stepping stones. I thought these dinner mints kind of were the shape of like a little bush. Yeah, bushes are green, but this is a made-up world, so maybe all the bushes are like candy and they're all these colorful different pastel colors, and I'm just gonna put them kind of around the shed. The thing with these dinner mints, when I was a kid, there was this like all-you-could-eat buffet, and one of my favorite things was being able to get these dinner mints right before you left because they were at checkout. I had mentioned that I had dyed coconut, and to dye this, all you have to do is put coconut into a baggie, squirt some food coloring in there, obviously green because you want green for grass, and then just shake it around a bunch and massage it and move it around. And it will turn out and look just like this, and it'll look like it's little blades of grass. And my plan with this is just to kind of stick it around to fill out all the blank spaces. Since this is a peep shed, my thought is to make one of them kind of live inside the shed. Maybe one will be here, just kind of like plain. I think that's gonna look so cute. I know my spoon's kind of messy, but I'm just gonna dollop a little bit on to get this guy to stick. Maybe this is a little friend that's visiting and they're just hopping on the little stepping stones and hopping away after a visit. Thank you guys for staying this long and watching all these fun crafts. I had so much fun making every single one of these. For this arrangement, I love how easy and simple it is. And I think if you wanted to make like a centerpiece, you could make 3 of these because they're so quick and easy to do, and maybe do a different color in each of them. And it would be so cute for a centerpiece for Easter. I also love this Peep house. It came out even cuter than I thought it was going to. I love how adorable this little shed is. And for these, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm definitely putting these in my kids' stuffers for their Easter basket. I love how these look, and I think they're gonna taste great too. With this sign, it's drying still a little bit, but I love how cute and simple this is, where you can even have your kids help make these. And then I change out little artwork on my shelves. So my plan is to put this on one of my shelves, maybe in my living room, and just kind of have this as a little bit of Easter in my living room. And for these, I need to mention that I noticed that the Nutella kind of gets oily, so I did have to put them on a plate. But these are so adorable, and I can't wait to try them because I love Nutella and I love pretzels. I think that's gonna be so tasty. And the last thing was the hot chocolate with the Peep, and it's already melted by now, honestly, but it was so adorable and it would be so fun. Just a quick thing to make for your kiddos as a special treat for Easter. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Posy Lane today. I had so much fun and I can't wait for our next craft.